Hey there, it's Trisha, and I've been getting some questions about coming up with a trading plan, how somebody would go about that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll give you a basic outline of things that you'll like to include in your trading plan. The reason someone will have a trading plan is because it will help you to determine the trades that you're willing to take and allowing you to repeat the same thing time and time again without hesitation. You would never start a business without a business plan, and your trading plan is your business plan. Look at it like that. So it's your money, and definitely will benefit you if you do have a plan on what types of trades and so forth you're willing to take. So this is a basic outline, and some of the things that you would like to put in your plan are just everything in general that comes into when you're willing to trade. What time of day are you willing to take a trade? Will you trade around the news? Will you trade after 3:30? Will you trade during lunch, the doldrums? Those things can be put in your plan. Doesn't mean that you can't occasionally decide that you want to break one of those rules. If there are extenuating circumstances, then you might want to put that in your plan. I'm willing to break this rule if this, and this are met. Will you check your economic calendar each morning? And what you want to do is you want to determine what types of setups you'll trade and detail the setups and make sure that all the requirements are met before you enter. So for example, let's just use the Kaboom setup. The type of setup I'm willing to trade is the Kaboom. I want my MACD crossing above my zero line for a buy, and I want the slope on my 22 on my entry chart heading in the right direction, sloping higher, as well as my 9 weighted on my broader view of the market. So I want that when I'm taking a setup. So just detail it. Exactly what are you waiting for? Are you willing to take pullbacks? Willing to take a pullback when price pulls back to the 22 period simple moving average on my entry chart, and my MACD histogram is getting smaller, or if it's getting larger and it's the same color. So basically, put everything in detail. What is your requirement for taking your setups? Every little detail. Are you going to trade with the trend? Are you going to take counter trend trades? If you are going to take a counter trend trade, what has to be in line for you to take it? For example, after a strong move higher, you can say I'd be willing to take a counter trend if price is hitting a resistance area and my MACD is heading lower, for example, or my stochastic is heading lower, or I have divergence to the downside. Do you require enough room to support and resistance to take your entry? Meaning, if you're taking something with resistance above your head, are you willing to take it even though you may not have enough room to get to your first target? Are you even going to pay attention to support and resistance? A lot of people choose not to put those on their entry chart. What size stop will you use? What targets do you have in mind? At what point in your trading do you plan on increasing the number of contracts that you trade? Obviously, when you first start out, you're going to start in your sim account until you're profitable that way. And once you can repeat it over and over again, then you'll start trading 1 contract or 2 contracts. And at some point, you're going to want to increase that. At what point are you going to increase that? When you have X number of winning trades in a row, or if, let's say, the last 20 trades, 17 of them were profitable, and I'm just making those numbers up, but you can figure that out for yourself. Also, I would recommend somebody who doesn't have a large account, or they're just trading with 1 contract or 2 contracts. You're just going to shoot for the first target, and that's another question. Are you going to exit in stages once you increase the number of contracts that you're trading? I would recommend, if you're trading with 1 or 2 contracts or a smaller account, I would definitely recommend just taking like 2 or 3 quality setups in a day, just shooting for that first target. It's not going to make you rich, but the thing to remember is that by doing that, you're creating good habits, and because you're limiting the number of trades that you're allowing yourself to take, it is going to force you to take quality setups. And then once you are able to increase the number of contracts that you're trading, then just increase them and you'll do the exact same thing. You can still only take 2 or 3 trades a day, but now increasing it to 5 or 10 contracts, making that first target twice a day, that's a nice income, rather than just shooting for your first target 10 times a day. That's really difficult way to make your living, I can tell you that. Also, you'll ask yourself, and probably like to put in your plan, how many losing trades a day are you willing to take? And then you're going to stop for the day. And you have to make sure that you adhere to these rules and your trading plan, because it's to help you live to trade another day. So if, like for example, you allow yourself 3 losing trades in a day, for example, and you have those 3 losing trades, then that's it. You're done for the day. You either pack it up and that's it, or you sim trade. And also make sure, if you're sim trading, make sure that you're treating it as if it were just like your cash account. Don't trade 10 contracts if when you go live or you trade live, you only trade 1 or 2 contracts. Try to keep it as real as possible. And then also, if you aren't up to trading, are you willing to take the day off? If you have a cold and you're on cold medicine, or if you have a headache, or if you have some personal issues going on and you're upset, just take the day off or sim trade. When you trade in a frame of mind where you can't focus, it really is difficult to have a good trading day. So I hope that information helps, and you can go to www.easyemoneytrade.com and get more information on the setups, and I hope you all have a fabulous Thanksgiving.